Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to jump into the Monster Manual and continuing our undisclosed theme of the last week or two, we're going to look at the Djinni, or the Djinn. These are the air creatures. They are very rare, one appearing, armor class 4, 7 plus 3 hit dice, 1 attack for 2 to 16, special attack see below, special defense is nil, standard MR, average to high intelligence, they're chaotic good, and they're large, 10.5 feet tall. The Djinn are creatures from the aerial plane. Their magical properties enable them to do any of the following once per day. Create nutritious food for 2 to 12 persons, create water or wine for 2 to 12 persons, create soft goods or wooden items, up to about 16 cubic feet of the former, and 9 feet of the latter. With permanence, create metal items of short lifespan. The harder the metal, the shorter it lasts. Gold is about 24 hours existence. Djinni steel lasts only about an hour. Of up to 1,000 gold pieces weight, create an illusion with both visual and audio components which will last without concentration until magically dispelled or touched. Become invisible, assume a gaseous form, wind walk, or form a whirlwind. A Djinni whirlwind is a cone shape, 10 foot across the base, 30 feet across the top, and up to 70 feet high, according to the desire of the Djinn. It dissolves one full turn, or it requires one full turn to form the whirlwind and one full turn for it to dissolve. The whirlwind lasts one melee round and causes 2 to 12 points of damage to only non-aerial creatures it encounters, and sweeps away and kills all creatures of under 2 hit dice which it encounters. Djinni subject to the attacks from creatures based on the element of air take -1 on damage caused thusly, and the to hit dice are almost -1 penalty. So that's kind of poorly worded, but basically anything from the elemental plane of air that attacks a Djinn is -1 attack, -1 damage. Djinn are able to carry up to 6,000 gold pieces weight, that's 600 pounds, afoot or flying without tiring. They can carry double that weight for a short time, 3 turns afoot, but if flying with that weight, the Djinn can remain aloft for only 1 turn. For each 1,000 gold piece weight less than the maximum, 100 gold piece less, 100 pounds less, add 1 turn walking or flying time. Thereafter, it must rest for 6 turns. The capture and enslavement of Djinni is better left to the device of the referee. It is worth noting, however, that a good master will typically encourage a Djinni to additional effort and higher performance, while a demanding and cruel master encourages the opposite. A noble Djinn, 1% chance, is able to grant 3 wishes to his master, but he will do no other services, and upon granting the 3rd wish, he is freed of servitude. Noble Djinn are as strong as the Ifrit, have 10 hit dice, strike for 3 to 24 points of damage, and their whirlwind causes 3 to 18 points of damage. Djinn can speak their own tongue and that of any person or beast with intelligence. They meet through a limited form of telepathy, which enables them to speak appropriately. Djinn can travel the elemental planes and the astral as well as material planes. The social structure of Djinn society is based on rule by a caliph, served by various nobles and officials, viziers, beys, emirs, sheikha, sheriffs, and maliks. So there you have it. That's a Djinni. Djinnis are so cool. They were so sought after in my earliest days of playing AD&D. They're great to have on your side, have as an ally, to have in servitude. If you've got that magic item that makes the Djinni work for you, that's great. The Djinni's granting 3 wishes. I like the idea that it's limited to just the higher ranking noble Djinn rather than every one of them. We've played a little fast and loose with that down the years. I also like, if I'm going to give wishes out, I like to give them through the medium of a Djinni, because the Djinni is chaotic good, and generally the warping and twisting of the wish won't be so bad. I have done it with Ifrit, and the Ifrit, of course, are lawful evil, so they go out of their way to warp and twist the wish, which is kind of fun, but it gets old, and eventually your players aren't even going to try their wishes. So I appreciate having a good Djinni wish, and having the 3 wishes from a chaotic good creature, where you can go ahead and you can, as the DM, have a little bit more latitude as to what you're going to grant versus what you're not going to grant. The whirlwind taking a turn to form, lasting a round, and then turn to be done, that's too slow. So instead of one turn to form, one round of being active, and then one turn to dissipate, I've made that one round, one round, one round. It's just easy. It's also easy to see that this write-up of the Djinn was written in 1977, back when everything in D&D was concerned with getting goods out of the dungeon. That's why it takes so much time talking about what a Djinni can carry. The idea being that you would have your Djinni helper, friend, whatever, help you carry loot out of the dungeon. And carrying the loot, you carry up to 6,000 gold pieces. That used to be a real problem in early D&D when we used to play almost exclusively in dungeons. It was a problem for how we got the loot home a lot of the times. So that another way that the Monster Manual is showing that it was written back when D&D was primarily in dungeons and limited to about 12th level or so is the expected highest level characters. But I love Djinni. I think they're excellent. I am surprised they don't require a magic weapon to hit, but I'm okay with that. I've left that alone. And the creatures of air attacking them, -1 attack, -1 damage, I'm fine with that. I have no real issue with that. So Djinn can be a lot of fun. They can add a lot of depth to your game. If you role-play them properly, they can be even more fun. I like when players interact with Djinni kind, especially the Djinni themselves, the Djinn, just because it can build up so much role-playing and so much character development. And I've had players surprise me. I thought there'd be, in one encounter I did, I thought the player would just be greedy as could be, grabbing everything he could possibly get out of the Djinni, and he wasn't. He was actually kind to the Djinni and treated it very, very well. And because of that, as the DM, I said, okay, the Djinni actually grows fond of you. Therefore, the Djinni will do one favor for you before it leaves of its own will. It wasn't a wish or anything. It was just a favor, and I forget what the favor granted was. I know the player held on to it for a little while. Djinni gave him a little bone whistle. They could blow on it, and the Djinni would show up, do the favor, and then leave. It was neat. The Djinni wasn't in service in any way. It was simply answering a call from a friend. That was some of the best role-playing I ever had with the Djinni in my game. But that's all I've got today from page 121. Let me know how Djinnis have interacted with your player characters and in your time in running or playing D&D. Have you ever had any kind of device that commanded the Djinni? And if so, how did it go for you? I'm very interested to find out in the comments below. Also, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tell your friends, still want to grow the channel. And take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. Again, I want to continue growing the channel. But that's all I've got today on page 121. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.